Hey, I've got a little treat for you today. Decided to take Jazz. Hello, Jazz. This is going to be Jazz's first camping trip. And you get to go along. Coming right up. Figured I'd go ahead and do a little training with her. We're going to take her up to the Hoosier National Forest. We're going to camp for the night. There's supposed to be some rain, storms moving in. Sounds like a pretty good night. So far, she's doing pretty good. She's just snoozing. It's her very first camping trip. Jesse, are you ready to go camping? Yeah. Okay, bud. Seems ready to me. It's funny, Jazz has got a really good nose on her. I'm thinking maybe she has some bird dog in her. Because she loves to sit out on the property and, boy, she watches birds and chases birds. And look at that nose on her. As we're driving down the interstate here, she smells all the little cow farms and horse farms and pig farms. And so she won't be in the vehicle very long, but if she works out, she's going with me on my trip to Lake Superior this October. Yeah, she might be. I don't know. I hear you, bud. I hear you. You're welcome. I think she's thanking me for taking her. That's okay. Hoosier National Forest, Indian Salina Lake Recreational Area. What do you think, Jazz? What are you smelling? You did good. You did good. Yeah, you're a good travel dog. I think I got me a good little travel companion here. And watchdog, ooh, doggy animals know. Stay out of the campsite. Well, so far I'm really impressed with the way Jazz is handling camping. I've got her on her little run right here, and that's pretty important. You never want to let your dog run loose in a campground. Even though it's well trained and stuff, it's still, you have no idea who's just going to walk by with another dog and cause a big fight. She's got a little bit of space where she can go back and forth, but it's just not going to get her all tangled up and stuff too. You try to put a rope around a tree and tie a dog to a tree, and it's going to be a mess. There's some water, buddy. Do you want some water? Huh? Now, Jazz is not used to being on a leash. At the property, we have an invisible fence, and so she's got a collar, and she's used to being free most of the time. So it's going to take her a little while to get used to being on a leash, being tied back. You can tell she doesn't like it. She wants to be free. But if she's going to go camping, this is what she's going to have to learn. And that's what this trip is all about, is just trying to teach her that this is how it happens. If she wants to go, this is going to be the plan. You can tell Jazz is pretty nervous. I just gave her a bone and she didn't want it. That's very unusual. So it's going to take her a little time to settle in. Set up a 1985 Coleman Sun Valley. And I'm also going to try out a different tarp. I have all different tarp systems that I'm trying out. This fall I'm going to head up to Lake Superior, and I want to be able to put a tarp system up. The one I have for up there is giant, and it's almost too big. And what I'm finding out, especially in the fall, the wind just is so strong. We have an Academy Sports here, and I happened to go in, and I searched everywhere online for a tarp 12 by 24. And I just couldn't find one, no matter what. I could not find a tarp that was 12 by 24. Wonder what that sound was. Almost sounded like gunfire. So I happened to be in Academy Sports the other day, and there was a tarp, 12 by 24. So I went ahead and picked it up. And I've got rain moving in this afternoon, and it's supposed to rain tonight. So I'm going to try it out on the Coleman and see how it does. Looks like it might work pretty good. Still put a tarp system on, and guess what? I forgot to put it on before I cranked the camper up. So now I'm going to have to do it the hard way. Oh well. Okay, Jazz, you ready to go for a little drive? Hoosier National Forest, Indian Salina Lake. This is the North Face Campground. It's just absolutely beautiful. I think we're going to head on up to the gatehouse. I'll be talking to you in just a minute. Come on, Jazz. Jazz seems to be doing really good. She's just a real nervous dog. I think anytime when she's in a new surrounding like this, a couple things going on. She's not used to being on a leash. She's definitely not used to being away from home. And this is her very first camping trip. So just going to keep working with her. Come here, girl. Just going to keep working with her. Jazz seems to be settling in a little bit more. Well, it took most of the day, and toward evening here, Jazz finally started to calm down a little bit. She was just confused and nervous, and it's kind of rough on her, I think. Before she growled at a few people going by. Thank goodness the campground is pretty secluded. So I don't know how she would do in a real busy campground. Maybe it's just something she'd have to get used to. So I think Jazz is going to work out for more of a recreational camping trip, maybe 1 or 2 days. I'm not sure if I'll still take her on my long trips. When you're kind of running a business like I am, this YouTube business, there's so much involved with the filming and the getting out and the doing the different things and producing the whole thing. It's kind of hard to have the distraction going on. I don't know, maybe she'll settle in. I'm not sure. I'm glad she came along. She's definitely doing a lot better. She just almost sat there and panted all after. Okay, winding down the day here with Jack. I'm hearing some thunder over here to the north. The thunderstorms are definitely slowly heading this way. That's what they were calling for. I figured it was going to rain most of the night and into tomorrow morning. And you can hear by the audio, there's just no sounds of humans whatsoever. It's just nature. And you really want to get out where you can just camp and quiet and go for a hike and go for a bike. And this would be a nice place to come. It's in southern Indiana off Interstate 64. You take Highway 37 south toward Tell City, and there it is. Hoosier National Forest. Pretty good night last night with Jazz, camping with Jazz. She seems to be doing okay. I think she just wants to get on home to her brother. She doesn't seem to really like camping a whole lot. Do you, Jazz girl? Huh? She's used to her invisible fence and used to the property and used to running free, and you know, she's hooked up here with this little leash, this little dog run right here, and she just doesn't like that. That just bothers her to be hooked up like that. Jazz, you did pretty good last night. Yeah, you did. You did pretty good. Yeah, it's funny because she did really well with the thunderstorms. We had a lot of thunderstorms come through. She handled them well. She just slept, you know, rode around every now and then and did pretty good. So, pretty happy with that. One thing I'm having trouble with is she has went number 1. I can't get her to go number 2. And I've taken her places, I've walked her, and I've taken her areas where there's nobody else around so I can unhook her so she can kind of be free to walk around a little bit. And she's got to be starting to feel pretty bad because she usually seems to go once or twice a day. So she's probably starting to feel that back up pretty good. That's what it's all about, you know, trying to take her camping for the first time and see how it works. Leash underneath your arm, don't you? You got your leash underneath your arm? Alright, let's lift your leg up. There you go. Alright. There. I know you don't like it. You're just used to being free. I know. I know, Bubby. Alright, you're fine. We're going to go somewhere in a minute. Just relax. Just relax. That's it. Explore around, look around. That's it. Figure out what you want to do. We're gonna go in a little while. This was a very short trip for me and Jazz. I just wanted to see how she would do out here, and I think she did okay. So the key to that is just to keep taking her along and kind of breaking her in, and eventually we both learn each other's system. So she'll learn what I'm doing, I'll learn what she's doing, and it becomes real easy. The one thing that's already become pretty easy is I open up the Montana door and she'll jump right in the front seat, sit down, and relax. Because that was kind of a struggle even from the beginning to get her to get up in the vehicle. She just never has traveled before. So it's going to take her a little while to get used to. Once again, I appreciate you coming to the channel. It's LAF Space Film Fest. Capital LAF Space Film Fest. Hammer down that subscribe button. Helps me to come out, put videos together, share ideas with you. Hey, if you like them, send them on and share them with your friends. Okay, Jazz, you ready to go home? Are you ready? How was your first camping trip? Hey, did you have fun? Hey, did you have fun? Yeah, okay. We'll go again. Yeah, I think old Jazzy wants to go home. Wanna go see your brother? You're a good dog. You did good, Jazz. The reward is another camping trip coming up. See you later, buddy. Say goodbye there, buddy. Say goodbye. Okay. See you at the next campsite.